Hey everybody, I am back and this is my weight loss video, so hopefully it's not going to be too long for anybody, but I had a lot of people asking me why did I lose the weight. I have some questions here, but the typical reason why I lost weight was because I was not, I felt like it was an out-of-body experience. I wasn't used to how I weighed, and when a doctor tells you you're, flat out fat, it kind of hurts, and they tell you, oh, you might need gastric for us to do another operation. So then it really hurt, and being in the area that I'm in, I am in an area where there is a affluent of looks are everything here. I didn't want to make anybody else happy but myself. But I noticed that I got looked over for a lot of stuff that, typically you wouldn't have thought. The dating wise and the discrimination. I'm not trying to say, oh, because you're bigger, but I have noticed it, and that's just with my preference. I've gone through it. I've been on both sides. I've been the small size, and I've been to the larger size. So let's get into it. How much did I originally weigh? I originally weighed 271. How much do I weigh now? I weigh between, depending on, just like anybody else, I am generally between 178 and 181. So I'm 5'8", if that gives you an idea. So the other questions, what size do I want to be? Typically a size, I'm not going by that, but for me, I like 6 or something like that. I am in 8, 10 now, so that kind of does it. How long did it take me to lose the weight? Well, like I said, I originally walked into a doctor's office back of April of 2014, and it didn't dawn on me that, to get it, if you look at my other videos, I did get a breast reduction, so I had to lose a certain amount of weight. So from April up until now, and I'm still trying to lose, of course. But the biggest question is, how did I lose the weight? Wow. Long journey, long story. I don't even know if I have enough time, but basically prayer. I remember last year, 2014, that, I'm sorry. So, 2014, sorry about that, I wrote down a prayer list, and there was different prayers on the list that what I wanted to achieve that year. So I wrote down a specific amount of weight. I wrote down that I wanted to lose 85 pounds, and on that list, there were things that I had to lose in order to get what God was trying to get me to, and I had to get stuff taken away. Like I said, I want to lose weight healthy. I'm sorry, I can't even pronounce anything. So I was what was Memorial Day last year? Okay, May of last year, I was stripped of my car because I had gotten a really bad car accident. I got hit by a drunk driver on Memorial Day 2014. So everything was good, I got a rental car, but mechanical problems started happening. So on my birthday last year, which is in September, guess what? My car stopped running. So I'm like, oh gosh, okay, what next? So in that case, I could not drive anywhere. So I had to walk. And when I mean walk everywhere. To the grocery store, to the doctor, wherever I had to go, I had to walk or use public transportation. and that did a lot of it. I didn't do anything like weightlifting. I'm sorry to say that I didn't. Everybody's journey is different. I started incorporating different stuff back into my diet, stuff that I could afford, like red meat. I thought I was not going to eat red meat again, but I did, and it was protein, so that filled me up. I could not eat every day because I didn't have the money. I wasn't working or anything like that, so that kind of makes you like, okay, what do I need to decide to do? And guess what? I didn't have money for sodas or juices, so I drank water. I drank water, a lot of water. And that did a lot of it. So that's how I got down. I wrote a prayer, but in order for that to happen, I had to lose things. And I didn't know that. For God to bring you closer to where He wants you to be, you had to be ready to let go. And until that time, I finally let go, and that's when stuff started rolling, and like weight loss and things like that. So, yeah, I had to do something. I didn't get assistance. I have money to eat most of the time, so I wasn't starving myself, but by no means, because I eat everything in sight. But you know, when you can't afford it, what are you going to do? So that's primarily how I did a lot of things. Walking was the number one thing. I can remember walking to the mall from my house, and that's like 2 miles one way, 2 miles back, and then if you got to go somewhere else. So yeah, I walked a whole lot. I don't even know the whole steps I took for each day. I know there's pedometers, but I don't know. My phone, I don't know. Anyway, that's how I did it. So, and I cut out like fast food, because you can't afford fast food if you're not working. So yeah. And I think one string hit me is when someone I saw was like, gosh, you know, you don't hear people whispering, but you do. And they say how big you are, and yeah, that kind of got to you. That got to me. And dating, like, you get, oh my gosh, the rejection of people, like, oh, you're cute, but you're too big, or you're cute, or it's whatever now. The next question, how old am I? I am 36 years old. My overall health. Well, before I lost the weight, I was pre-diabetic. I had high cholesterol, and I did have high blood pressure. So, and you know, the cliche of things, but high blood pressure, I had that back in the Air Force, so that's not saying much for me. So I've always had that, but the pre-diabetic thing, you know, I didn't know. And you know, recently when I got my blood work done, I was, the range I was at 99. So that's a big difference from like the 110. I was initially 111. I take that back, 111 and 112 of last year. So that's a big difference. I'm trying to look at notes. I'm so sorry. What diets have I tried in the past, and how long? Oh my gosh. So my initial weight journey started back in like 2006, right after the military, and I have tried Atkins, I have tried the paleo diet, I have tried vegetarian, vegan. Oh my gosh, I've tried everything. Oh goodness, cabbage soup, oh gosh. I joined, I don't know how many gym memberships I've had and lost money for, because to me it was a waste of time. I didn't go. Just didn't have the motivation. My biggest motivation is when I start seeing people losing weight around me, and I'm like, gosh, they're like really, really small, and they look really, really good. You know, they're healthy, they're fit now, and they're like the same size as me, as I was, and I'm thinking, wow, they look really, really good. So I'm like, all right, I need to get going. I would do it for a while. I'm like, I don't want to do it. And then another thing, I started getting complacent. When you start getting too comfortable around the situation, and I did that. And going back to my list, when I asked, you know, God to deliver me from stuff and to help me, and I had to lose things first in order to get to where I am today, to recognize what needed to be done. And it's funny, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so funny when you start to let things go and allow God back into your life, or, you know, receive Him. Things fall right back in place. But that's another video I'm going to do. But my weight loss, let's see. I think I wanted to answer everything. Depression and self-esteem. Okay. My self-esteem was shot. You know, there were days that I didn't want to look into the mirror. Didn't want to see how I looked. I was originally wanting to do YouTube about maybe 2 years ago, and when I looked back at a video of myself, I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't think I was small enough to be on camera, or worthy enough for anybody to see me, so I didn't do it. And of course, I did a video about red flags about a month ago, and that's when I saw myself, and I was actually comfortable with looking at myself in the mirror for the first time in a long time. And yeah, it's been a while since I had the courage to actually look at myself and accept myself for who I am and what I look like. And I'm perfectly happy with that if nobody else is. Now, the downside, I know everybody's like, oh, weight loss, great, yeah. But the downside, I have lost many people, but in a good way, if that makes sense. I am very happy about the people that have walked out, that have left because of what I was doing better for myself, or I took control over my life. And there's always somebody making a snide remark like, oh, well, are you still doing that? Do you want to, you know, just little stuff like, oh, well, you could work. Okay, I get it, but I'm a work in process. Like, you know, somebody always wants to say something at the side of their neck. I'm like, okay, so that is one thing. I think before, you know, I used to eat, and food is an addiction. Food is an addiction like everything else. People like, oh, well, stop putting food in. No, that's like telling a drug addict to stop using drugs that day, and it's not going to happen. That's like telling somebody to stop smoking that day, or do this, or why don't you just lose weight or get on the treadmill. It's not that easy. It's really not that easy. Trust me when I say it's not. It's not. When you go into other stores with like smaller friends and stuff, and you're looking around, it's like, dang, I can't fit anything. Or you walk into a store and the salesperson's looking at you like, oh, why are you here? Or anything like that. It got embarrassing. And it's funny when you go back to some of those stores, and or you see some of those people or something like that. They can't believe they treat you totally different. And it's a stigma. I don't know why. It's a stigma, and to plainly put it, and it's sad, you know. I don't know why. I can honestly say I have been on both sides of the spectrum. Yeah. But I do want to thank Black women losing weight that let me put my platform and let me share my story with them on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that, follow Black Women Losing Weight. They are great ladies. They will inspire you. You know, when people say I'm an inspiration, I don't even know how to take that, because I was doing the same thing you were doing. And, you know, it's hard, but it's going to get better. And yeah, It's going to get better. I don't know when, but it will. And who cares what anybody says about you? Love yourself. When you are able to look in the mirror and decide that you love yourself every day, that's when you know change is going to happen. So if you got any more questions, I hope I helped. I don't know what else. Dating, yeah, I'm not even worried about that now. Like, yeah, it hasn't been different. Have people looked at me different? Yeah, of course, but those are the same. People probably have seen you before, but they just don't realize who you are and what has happened, or they wonder where did you go. So, yeah, that's about it. I think I am done. You know, it took me, I think I mentioned this, it took me from April till December time, December, January, I think those are my notes, I'm sorry. So, yeah, but if you have any more questions, and I'm so sorry if I did not answer everything or get to everything, or I went off on a tangent, I'm so sorry for that, or I'm sorry for the lighting too. So, if you have any more questions, leave them down below, and I will try to help you. And all I ask is when you leave comments, respect one another, treat everybody as you want to be treated yourself, and I love you. Have a blessed day. Like, comment, and subscribe.